I'm not the judge, I'm not the prosecutor. I don't really have to make these decisions, but we are going to look at the information. And there is an article in today's, I guess it was last night's, Washington Compost, that is so stunning. We really need to take time to go through it. A lot of you don't read the Washington Compost. I try not to, but every now and then I have to look at it askance, and then if there's something there, we want to talk about it, for good or bad. But if this doesn't demonstrate how so thoroughly corrupt the Clintons are, and that this foundation they set up, it may do 5, 10, 12% good stuff charity, but it's not set up for charity. It's a front group to enrich the Clintons, to propel Hillary Clinton into the presidency. I don't know at this point how any constitutional conservative, Reaganite, Tea Party activist, Levinite, can be reading these WikiLeaks things, can be seeing this Project Veritas, these videos, can be watching what's going on, hearing what Hillary Clinton wants to do to this country, and still say, I'm going to vote for some Nundik third-party guy that can't win, or I'm not going to get involved because, you know, we have got to stop this woman. And we've got to stop her husband. And we've got to stop this whole clan, this whole mob scene. Let's get to the piece. It's called Inside Bill Clinton, Inc. Hacked memo reveals intersection of charity and personal income. Right there, charity and personal income. I mean, we have her on the Espionage Act, right? Which should be enough to defeat her, but apparently it's not. Well, let's look at the intersection of charity and personal income. By the way, if there's an intersection of charity and personal income, really, you should be going to prison for that, right? Charity's not about personal income, is it? Rosalind Helderman and Tom Hamburger. I like hamburgers, I don't like cheeseburgers. When top Bill Clinton aide Douglas Band wrote the memo, he was a central player at the Clinton Foundation and president of his own corporate consulting firm. Over the course of 13 pages, this memo, he made a case that his multiple roles had served the interests of the Clinton family and its charity. In doing so, Band also detailed a circle of enrichment in which he raised money for the Clinton Foundation from top-tier corporations such as Dow Chemical and Coca-Cola that were clients of his firm, Teneo, T-E-N-E-O, Teneo, while pressing many of those same donors to provide personal income to the former president. He is the consigliere. This is the guy, has his own lobbying corporation and so forth. He's got all these corporate contacts. He's pressing them to give money to the Clinton Foundation and to give money to the Clintons to enrich them. The system has drawn scrutiny from Republicans. Now that's an interesting sentence. Shouldn't it draw scrutiny from all Americans? Shouldn't it draw scrutiny from Congress? Shouldn't it draw scrutiny from the Department of Justice? Shouldn't it draw scrutiny from the media? Even this article, which is talking about it, the system has drawn scrutiny from Republicans, like this is some partisan political issue, who say it allowed corporations and other wealthy supporters to pay for the entree to a popular former president and one-time Secretary of State who's now the Democrat presidential nominee. Band, this fellow Band, wrote the memo in 2011 to foundation lawyers conducting a review of the organization amid a brewing feud with Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton, who was taking a stronger role in leading the foundation, and had expressed concerns about Teneo's operations. So here's Chelsea, poor innocent little Chelsea. Little Chelsea marries a guy who is the son of Medzinski. His mother was a congresswoman, and his father was prosecuted and imprisoned. So she's concerned that Douglas Band, this longtime Clinton consigliere, and Teneo, which is his company, she's concerned about their operations because she wants a stronger role in running this foundation. The memo, made public yesterday by the anti-secrecy group WikiLeaks, lays out the aggressive strategy behind lining up the consulting contracts and paid speaking engagements for Bill Clinton that added tens of millions of dollars to the family's fortune including during the years that Hillary Clinton led the State Department. It describes how Bann helped run what he called Bill Clinton Inc. So the consigliere is referring to it as Bill Clinton Inc. Obtaining, quote, in-kind services for the president and his family for personal travel, hospitality, vacation, and the like. This foundation spent a fortune on the Clintons, on their lifestyle. These charitable donations. It was set up for them, not for the poor people of Haiti and so forth. They can point to some people that received vaccinations and some people this, some people. That's the front. That's like John Gotti saying, oh, this person was able to buy a home, I gave them a loan, that to buy a car. This person, their mother was sick, I paid for that. But it's still the mob. That's the front. That's the storefront. Or as the communists used to call it, that's the Potemkin village, where you have this fake village where it looks like things are actually happening in a positive way. There's vibrancy and so forth and so on. But a mile behind the village is all the misery and so forth. This is the Potemkin village. Bann and his Tenio co-founder, former Clinton fundraiser Declan Kelly, declined to comment. But Tenio issued a statement saying that, quote, as the memo demonstrates, Tenio worked to encourage clients, where appropriate, to support the Clinton Foundation because of the good work that it does around the world. It also clearly shows that Tenio never received any financial benefit or benefit of any kind from doing so. And spokesman for Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton and the foundation declined to comment. Well, how about Hillary Clinton? Is anybody going to ask her a question? I know she was at a concert the other night and was having a blast, and she's out there very cocky. She thinks she's going to run up the numbers now in the election, maybe take the Senate, maybe even the House. Oh, yeah, a massive mandate to do what? To kill the country and enrich herself. Hillary Clinton campaign spokesman Glenn Kaplan declined to comment on the memo, calling the material, quote, hacked by the Russian government and weaponized by WikiLeaks. Is that satisfactory to you? Just dismiss, oh, it's hacked by the Russian government and weaponized by WikiLeaks. How about answering the questions there, brother? She has no intention of answering the question. We have an election in 12 damn days, and we can't get answers from Hillary Clinton. We have an election in 12 damn days, and a woman who violated the Espionage Act on multiple occasions is likely to win. This is incredible to me. We have an election in 12 days, and she's urging her constituents, her likely voters, hurry up and vote, hurry up and vote, vote early, vote early. You know why? Because these things keep coming out, and even more, we're learning more and more about the disaster that is Obamacare. And people are starting to say, wait a minute, I live in Arizona. My costs are going to go up 116%. Stuff like that. She wants people to cast their vote, to lock it in before anything can change. It's just so totally corrupt. Now, this guy, Douglas Bann, who grew close to Bill Clinton 2 decades ago as his personal aide in the White House. Here's a guy who's a personal aide. Now he's worth tens of millions of dollars. He was just carrying Bill Clinton's coat, probably his condoms, too. No offense. Bann, who grew close to Bill Clinton 2 decades ago as his personal aide in the White House, and became the architect of his post-presidential activities, argued in the memo, 13-page memo, that he and his firm had benefited the former president and his foundation. Quote, we've dedicated ourselves to helping the president secure and engage in for-profit activities, Bann wrote. He also said he had sought to leverage my activities, including my partner role in Tenio, to support and to raise funds for the foundation. You see the overlap? You see the incestuous relationship between the charity and the for-profit? We have dedicated ourselves to helping the president, he says. Bann's memo provided data showing how much money each of Tenio's 20 clients at the time had given to the Clinton Foundation, how much they had paid Bill Clinton, and in some cases, how he or Kelly, his partner, had personally forged the relationships that resulted in the payments. Here we have the whole scheme, all mapped out in a 13-page memo. Hurry up and vote. Hurry up and vote before you know what the hell you're doing, Hillary, right? Hurry up, get out there, vote. Band wrote that Teneo Partners had raised in excess of $8 million for the foundation and $3 million in paid speaking fees for Bill Clinton. He said he had secured contracts for the former president that would pay out $66 million over the subsequent 9 years if the deals remained in place. This guy, Band, and his partner, Kelly, need to be in front of a federal grand jury. They need to be investigated by the Department of Injustice. Yeah, I know, but still, if we had a working, functioning federal law enforcement at the top levels, there would be a grand jury and panel. This Clinton Foundation would be under investigation. It would have been under investigation months and months and months ago. These guys would be yanked in front of the grand jury, and they would be interviewed under penalty of perjury, and obstruction, and potential imprisonment, should they lie or deceive. But that didn't happen, and it's not going to happen, at least not in the course of the next 12 days. Let's go on. For instance, Band wrote that Kelly arranged for the former president to meet the chief executive of Coca-Cola in January 2009 at the Clintons' home in Washington, D.C. In all, according to Band's memo, Coke had contributed $4.33 million to the foundation between 2004 and 2010. A Coca-Cola spokesman said the company had supported the Clinton Foundation because it believed, quote, in the great work that can be done when businesses, civil society, and governments come together to solve problems. So poetic. He said Teneo had been hired to provide business and communications consulting. No, Teneo was a go-between to enrich the Clintons and their foundation. One and the same, really. Band also described how Kelly, his partner, helped expand a fruitful relationship with UBS Global Wealth Management, introducing Bill Clinton to a top executive at a 2009 charity dinner. You know, let me just say this at this point. Nobody does a more thorough job of crapping all over our institutions than the Clintons. Nobody. Remember when they were leaving the White House? They were stealing the furniture. Remember all that? And they got a call, would you bring the stuff back? Remember all that? Remember the tax return where Bill Clinton was deducting everything, including used underwear? Does it get any more pathetic than that? Remember their fundraising when they were actually selling access to the Lincoln bedroom? Remember that? These people really are the worst of the worst. They are. You know, they talk about the little people. She talks about all the great things she's going to do for the country. What she really means is all the things she's going to do that are great for her and do them to the country, not for the country. In the ensuing years, UBS upped its giving to the foundation, signed on as a Teneo client, and agreed to pay Bill Clinton for speeches, Band wrote. So here's the guy writing out all the great ways they got the Clintons money, all the great ways they got the foundation money, all the great ways they introduced them to all kinds of corporatists and so forth. It's all laid out. Records show. So what's the point of the media in this country? Why do we even need them? Seriously. So they can sit there and regurgitate what the liberals tell them to regurgitate. They get an audio 3 weeks before an election. Look at this. And it's an 11-year-old audio, and they run it and so forth. They play favorites, and they really only have one, the liberals and the Democrats. Records show UBS paid Clinton about $2 million in speaking fees between 2011 and 2015 for a series of appearances, generally alongside former President George W. Bush. The company also paid Hillary Clinton $225,000 for a 2013 speech. UBS declined to comment. Well, why did they decline to comment? They should have said, look, we're involved in helping the civil society and government working with, but didn't they understand what the other guys, Coca-Cola, did? This is good stuff. You know, we're doing it for the people, for the civil society, for the little guy. Another achievement is cited by this guy, Band, Laureate International Universities. Now, this is a big one. A chain of for-profit international colleges, which I thought we were supposed to oppose, which donated to the foundation and agreed to pay Bill Clinton $3.5 million a year to serve as honorary chancellor. You know what that means? Pay him $3.5 million a year to do nothing. Nothing. That's incredible. Clinton had credited Ban with conceiving of the Clinton Global Initiative. The glitzy, so here you have a lobbyist. Okay, I have an idea. Here's how we make you rich. Super duper rich. No, you don't actually have to work like normal people. No. You've got all these contacts. I will set this thing up. I've got contacts too. And we'll work it back. You'll be the insider, I'm the outsider. We'll work this thing. It'll be really, really great. And we'll have them give money to the foundation so they can show they're involved in a charity. And also we'll have them pay you for speeches. That's the best way to get your money. No more, futures like Hillary with $1,000 making $100. Nobody believes that crap. No, just give speeches. $250,000, $500,000, $600,000. Perfectly legitimate. It's really good. Colin Powell does it all the time. It's okay, trust me. Clinton is credited Ban with conceiving of the Clinton Global Initiative, the glitzy annual meeting where corporate, government, and nonprofit leaders gathered annually to talk about the world's problems. Really, you can do that in a men's room. You really don't have to have this whole kind of glitzy thing going on here, do you? Started in 2005, CGI became the best-known arm of the Clinton Foundation, which also operated education, environment, and health programs around the world. The final CGI meeting took place last month. By 2011, the longtime Clinton aide was ready to strike out on his own. That's when Ban and Kelly joined forces to form Teneo, T-E-N-E-O, E-I-E-I-O. At first, the firm remained closely linked to the Clinton network. Ban described in the memo how he combined his work for CGI and Teneo. He wrote that he'd used a hotel room upstairs from the 2011 CGI gathering to meet the Teneo clients. I bet Clinton used one of those hotel rooms, too. He also acknowledged giving free CGI memberships to target Teneo clients being cultivated as potential foundation donors. Memberships generally cost $20,000 a year. These are real snake oil salesmen, aren't they? They truly are. They know how to make a buck. They pretend, oh, they're such nice liberals. No, they're cronies. Teneo, meanwhile, named Bill Clinton its honorary chairman. Clinton had been initially tapped for a 3-year arrangement, which he would provide advice to Teneo, quote, regarding geopolitical, economic, and social trends. According to a separate June 2011, that's a front. That's nonsense in order to give him money. He's going to give us advice on geopolitical, economic, and social trends. What the hell does he know? Now, according to a separate June 2011 memo that Ban wrote to the State Department seeking ethics approval for the former president's employment. Bill Clinton was initially paid $2 million by Teneo. $2 million. See how the millions are adding up? According to Man of the World, a book written with the former president's participation by author Joe Conason. Joe Conason, in my view, is a Clinton propagandist and shill. That's my opinion. But Chelsea Clinton grew concerned when news leaked in the late 2011 that MF Global, the hedge fund owned by former New Jersey Governor John Corzine, the sleaze just keeps coming, had been paying the Clinton-tied firm $125,000 a month just before MF Global went bankrupt. Perfect name, MF Global, isn't it? According to emails released by WikiLeaks, Chelsea Clinton complained in December 2011 to longtime Clinton aide John Podesta, who at the time was serving as, and his name keeps popping up, right? Because he's helping lead the Hillary Clinton campaign. These people never leave Washington. They are entrenched. This is why you're so furious with what goes on in Washington, and you have every right to be, and I read these idiot, phony, pseudo-Republicans and pseudo-conservatives going on and on about how people like me unleashed you. You didn't unleash anyone. You see this, you're disgusted with this. What kind of a country is this that has a government like this? That has these nobles and lords and kings and queens self-promoting. If Hillary Clinton wins, just think about it. Just think about everything I'm reading to you. How it empowers this kind of mob mentality. And on top of that, I'm sick of the idea that family members pass the presidency on from one to the other. The Bushes, the Clintons, maybe more Bushes, more Clintons. The hell is this? Some third world banana republic? According to emails released by WikiLeaks, Chelsea Clinton complained in December 2011 to longtime Clinton aide John Podesta, who at the time was serving as an advisor to the Clinton Foundation, that she'd been informed that a member of her father's office staff who answered the ban had been making calls to British lawmakers, quote, on behalf of President Clinton, unquote, for Teneo clients, particularly for the chief executive of Dow Chemical. Chelsea wrote that the calls were occurring without her father's knowledge and that the reactions she was hearing to them would horrify Bill Clinton. In another email, she wrote she feared Teneo was hustling business at CGI. Chelsea Clinton's concerns helped spark efforts at the foundation to adopt new policies. So here you have Chelsea Clinton. What is she? I don't know, 30? She sees what her dad's doing. She sees what her mother's doing. She sees what all these people are doing. She got, we could have a problem here. We could have a problem, Chelsea Clinton's concern helped spark efforts at the foundation to adopt new policies concerning outside consulting agreements designed to erect a more solid wall between Bill Clinton's private and charitable activities. Emails show that Cheryl Mills, remember her, who at the time was serving as Hillary Clinton's chief of staff at the State Department, was deeply involved in the foundation's proceedings. Listen to this. At the time, she was serving as Hillary Clinton's chief of staff at the State Department. She was deeply involved in the foundation's proceedings. It's supposed to be a charitable, nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. It's not a part of any campaign. It's not part of the Democratic Party. It's not part of the government. And Cheryl Mills, as chief of staff to a cabinet secretary, she's being paid by you and me. She's not supposed to be working on any business whatsoever other than the State Department business. Bill Clinton also separated from Teneo, returning to the company all but $100,000 of the money he'd been paid, tax returns show. Emails show how the dispute between Chelsea Clinton and her father's longtime aide led to personal hostility. Yes, who's going to control this massive mob enterprise? Will it be the family per se, or the family consigliere? I don't deserve this from her, and deserve a tad more respect, or at least a direct dialogue for me to explain these things, Ban wrote to Podesta at the time. She's acting like a spoiled brat kid who has nothing else to do but create issues to justify what she's doing, because she, as she has said, hasn't found her way and has a lack of focus in her life. Ban complained that no similar scrutiny was being applied to Bill Clinton himself. Ban noted that he had previously signed a conflict of interest document for CGI. Quote, oddly, WJC, that would be BJ, Bill Jefferson Clinton. Oddly, BJ does not have to sign such a document, even though he is personally paid by 3 CGI sponsors, gets many expensive gifts from them, some that are at home, etc., he wrote. Wow, he would have been a great witness against Clinton. This guy, he's coughing up information, and they haven't even put the screws to him yet. It's like volunteering because he's just angry with Chelsea. The Ban memo disclosed by WikiLeaks on Wednesday made no direct reference to Hillary Clinton. Right, one of the few that hasn't. But Ban outlined that Kelly, his Teneo co-founder, had served simultaneously between 2009 and 2011 as an unpaid economic envoy to Northern Ireland appointed by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. An unpaid envoy. Are you kidding me? They got suitcases of cash moving around here. Listen to what I'm explaining here. She knows what Bill's getting out of all this. Bill knows why he's getting it all, because she was Secretary of State, or is at the time, and is intending to run for President of the United States. How stupid do these people think we are? That's the only reason all this money is moving around the way it's moving around. He's the unpaid economic envoy, that is this Ban's partner, Kelly, to Northern Ireland, appointed by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and as head of a separate consulting company whose clients include Coke, UBS, and Dow Chemical. Ban wrote that the arrangement was consistent with Kelly's State Department ethics agreement. Well, that's something wrong with these ethics rules and agreements, don't you think? Kelly's multiple roles came together during one State Department event in 2010, when then Secretary Clinton recognized Dow, among other companies, for creating jobs in Northern Ireland, and thanked Kelly for his work on the issue. Dow became one of Teneo's first major clients. According to Band's memo, Dow Chief Executive Andrew Leveris had been introduced to Bill Clinton over a round of golf with Kelly in August 2009. The company then increased its Clinton Foundation support, this is Dow, contributing $705,000 in 2010 and 2011. Dow spokeswoman said the company's participation in the foundation dated to 2007, and the charity was aligned to core business and citizenship strategies that have positively leveraged the resources and capabilities of our company. Wow. How so? How so? Dow paid Tenio $2.8 million in 2011. So Doug Band's making out like a bandit. Clinton's making out like a bandit. The Clinton Foundation's making out like a bandit. Spreading around corporate money, moving the shelves around, overlapping interests, overlapping personnel. Hey, somebody's got to earn a living. So Dow paid Tenio $2.8 million in 2011, payments that then jumped to $19.4 million in 2012. What were they getting? Access. According to internal Dow documents made public as part of a whistleblower complaint. The company later said in public filings that the increase reflected a cost-saving decision to consolidate several consulting contracts with the one firm. Yeah, we went from $2.8 million to $19.4 million. $19.4 million. Guy was Clinton's former, as personal assistant. He would carry his suit bag around. 19.4. Yeah, it's a cost savings thing. You don't understand. It's like the federal government. We're spending more to save more. But the spike raised flags for an internal company fraud investigator who expressed alarm that it may be linked to Bill Clinton's work and with a charity founded by Leveris, a charge the company denied. So here you have an internal company fraud investigator saying, hey, boys, this doesn't look good. Moving money to Clinton, moving money to the foundation, all this money going into his guy Band. No. It's for the civic public good. It appears Dow's paying Tenio for connections with Clinton, the investigator wrote. Now what? Oh, she's going to be the first lady president of the United States. Such a role model. She's going to be unbelievable. Bill is going to be in charge of the interns over there in the East Wing. They'll bring Stephanopoulos back. He'll run the war room. This is going to be great. The pathetic and insufferable Lanny Davis will come back. You really don't mean to say that, do you? That guy, Lanny Davis, will have endless hearings should the Republicans be lucky enough to hold the House and maybe even the Senate. Who knows? And we'll have hearings and subpoenas will be issued and they'll be ripped up the moment they get to the White House. And the Justice Department will continue to be run by a bunch of political hacks and left-wing goons. So, but America, can't we do better than this? I think we can do a lot better than this. But not right now, apparently.